Hello, hello. How's everyone doing? Hope you're all good. Hope you had a great weekend. I had a very good weekend. Busy weekend. We got a new family member yesterday. We got a new puppy. She's so adorable, it's ridiculous. How one animal can be quite so cute, I'm not quite sure. So yes, a good weekend had. Although 8 hours driving to get her, which was a lot. James says, I just started a membership on your site last week. I've been working my way through your early videos. Awesome. I want to thank you for your thoughtful presentation. Thanks, James. I appreciate that. I'm glad it's, you know, glad it's working out. Show and tell. Okay, maybe I can show and tell. Yeah, I think I can actually. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can show you my new family member. Okay. I'll share my screen quickly. There she is. 9 weeks old. Don't know. Don't have a name for her yet. But yeah, so there you go. That's the little girl. She's already made a big impression, as you can imagine. Oh, I'm still sharing the wrong screen. Okay, well, there you go. Yeah, little sweetheart. Anyhow, she kept me up. I was up at 3 o'clock this morning because she needed to go to the bathroom, as they do at that age, and I've been up ever since, and so this will be an interesting one. Retriever. She's a golden retriever fox Labrador mix. Apparently a fox Labrador is a thing. I didn't know till yesterday. She's a Goldador, believe it or not, which is also a word I'd not heard till yesterday. So I'm not sure how long her hair will be or what exactly what she will evolve into, but yeah, she's a cutie. Okay, so today we are going to, you could say in this way, we're kind of doing a follow-on from last week, or last Monday's stream, because we're working with the same model again. Remember, we did a couple of kind of 3/4 down views. We've got a couple in this set too. We've also got some fairly straight, or you know, more straightforward poses. Because when I was picking these, I was quite sleep deprived, and I didn't want to give myself too much of a challenge today, to be honest. So yeah, I think you know, let's go with the flow. It'll be fine. Margot says she's beautiful. Thank you, Margot. I had a yellow lab for 11 years. Yeah, we had a black lab, an American lab for that we actually got in the States and we brought back to the UK with us. And she passed away a couple of years ago, and it felt timing-wise like, you know, they leave a huge gap in the household when they're not with you any longer. They just provide something so incredible. So we decided it was time, especially after everything that had gone on last year. It was like, okay, let's bring another dog into our lives. A decision that was not made quickly or easily, but a necessary one nonetheless. Okay, here we go, down to business. The puppy's upstairs with my daughter. She's in safe hands. And as soon as the stream's done, no doubt I'll go rushing up there and to take a look at her again. Again and again and again. Okay, let's start the first pose. somewhat of a profile. You know, what I like about poses like this is just super strong silhouette. And what I love about this model is, you know, she's semi-athletic, when she's actually pretty athletic, but she's a nice balance of being toned and yet there's really appealing shape language, and so it should be a fun set. Okay, what should we plan on? Should we start with a 15? Yeah, let's do that. Okay, start the clock. There we go. Okay, let's find our shoulders. Now, what I like about one thing I look for in these profile type poses, because obviously we can't look at the relationship of the axis between the upper and the lower torso, but we can look at the relationship between the upper and the lower torso going this way. And as we've discussed before, especially with females, there tends to be much more pushback in the hips here. So we'll try and, you know, try and get that in. Oh, I'm going off the bottom of the page already. I'm drawing very big. I really should scale down these drawings just a little bit. Anyway, center line can be about here. Yeah, she's a great model, I agree, Camille. Just has a great sense of how to, you know, carry the dynamics of the pose, let's say. This arm coming this way. Hand is going to be sitting about there. Deltoid sitting in there. Pectoral muscle coming across the form here. Latissimus, and that sitting in there. I think maybe this iliac crest is a little bit higher because the oblique is sitting in there. Rib cage coming down this way. Okay. Long neck, or at least the way that she's posing. Yeah, I realize I'm going a little bit off the top of this screen there, guys. Apologies. I will, I'll try and tame that down for the next pose. Don't know quite why I'm drawing quite as large as I am. But there we go. And the other arm, you can just, it kind of reveals itself here. Got the forearm coming down, wrist down to the hand. It's going to be sitting somewhere in there. Something like that. Okay, hair down like so. pectoral coming down. Something like that. Navel halfway between the bottom of the rib cage and the top of the iliac crest. We know if we come around the form it's about here. Something like that. Okay. We can see that tensor fasciae latae just kind of sitting in here, just in this region in here, just very lightly. You can see the gluteus medius, which is quite pronounced, kind of sitting in that region there. Gluteus maximus coming down, we can kind of almost see where it creates the iliotibial tract along with the tensor fasciae latae there. Then this line will actually be coming from about here, and this will be a little bit lower, be about there. Thank you, Tina. Appreciate it. All right, deltoid. Starting right about here. And the tricep, really quite a roundness to the tricep in that area there. Forearm. Okay. So it's just got that compression in the back right there. And then, yeah, that run of the latissimus coming up this way in the back, in the rib cage. Something like that. Okay. Let's come across the form. And the pectoral. Coming down there. Okay, let's come down the form. Let's find this front plane. Actually, this is all a little large. I think I'm going to have to do a refinement pass there. That's okay. Something like that. Yeah, let's lose a bit of mass in here. It's all getting a little clunky. Yeah, that seems better. Hamstring just protruding slightly here, which is actually kind of one of those kind of clues to athleticism. As you can see, I am moving this leg forward. Oh, forward slightly as I tie down. And that foot will be about there. So if we come around, like once again, thinking through the form, coming around this way, that's going to tell me where the hamstring is hanging there. Sitting in there. Something like that. You can see the brachioradialis muscle of the forearm just reveal itself from behind the rib cage here. Coming down and then into the hand. Okay. He's going to sit about there. All right. Yeah, this foot's unfortunately going off here off camera. You get the idea. And there's our 15. Yeah, we'll leave it there. All right, nice little warm up. Cool, yeah. I'll draw smaller next time. Okay. Camille says, I noticed that the male poses are more difficult, at least recently. Hope we can get some rest today. Yeah, I think today's poses are a little more user-friendly, you know? Hey, Phil from damp Cornwall. It may be damp, but it's a beautiful part of the country. Although England generally is pretty picturesque. Yesterday I had to drive from London up to, for our foreign friends, I drove from London to a city called Shrewsbury, which is about 2.5 hours north of London, northwest, kind of like just about on the border of Wales. And it's so pretty up there. Like obviously Wales is a beautiful place, but it's like, you know, we are blessed here with a lot of very, very scenic countryside. There's no doubt about it. Yeah, I need to get to know Cornwall better, Phil. I really do, especially as we're probably looking at house hunting in that general area, or well, we're going to be looking all over the UK, if truth be told. But that's definitely high on our list of places to look. Yeah, you also benefit from my sleep deprivation, exactly. I picked poses that would be, well, there's a couple here that I think will be a bit challenging, but generally, I think they are a little bit more user-friendly. Okay. Good idea to clean the hand of charcoal between each pose. You know, a vain attempt to keep the paper clean. Okay, I think we'll probably go about the same again on this one, huh? Feels like about 15 should do it. Once again, we have a situation where there is some back detail, but it's, you know, it's a little bit sparse. So we'll add a bit of an anatomical knowledge here and there, just to kind of hopefully just keep it interesting. Let's see. Very, very slight tilt on the axis of her shoulders, and I think that we want to exploit that, given that it's a fairly quiet pose. I don't know why. I think my top camera is zoomed in a little bit more than it is normally, because this already looks like I'm going to be drawing off the page. Let's pull it down a bit. Okay. Upper torso. Almost kind of, we're getting almost like a V type of shape. We won't go quite as extreme as in the pose or in the reference, because we will add that with anatomy, but we'll get the general shape in. It's going to be sitting somewhere like that, very loosely. Okay. Yeah, actually, I think I can afford to pull my drawing board back down here a little bit. There we go. Okay, so a lot of hidden forms here. We need to be mindful of that. We've got our spine. Let's get our sacrum in. Once again, we are looking, this is a down view. So we at least want to try and get that across in the drawing, and for it to not feel like just like completely like a, you know, a back view, just a regular back view. Okay. For those of you who have the reference, do really kind of take a close look at the lovely shape that we have here from the gluteus. There's a lot more straights there than you might think, you know, kind of straight, straight, straight. They're not quite straight, but I would rather work in the spirit of them being straight than in the spirit of them being rounded. So our iliac crest coming up this way, and we can see the oblique kind of sitting on top there. Just very lightly indicate it. It's very, very quiet on this side, but it is there, sitting in there. And obviously, if this was a more direct, straight-on view, the gluteus, this mass of the gluteus would appear larger, you know. And we've got this leg sitting in here. We can't actually see it. It goes up this way. It's obviously going away from us. This one's quite a bit lower. Kind of sitting about here. Okay. I have Cornwall on my bucket list, especially after Poldark. What is Poldark? You'll have to enlighten me. I don't. Is that a TV show? Okay, let's find our rib cage. Kind of. It's going to be sitting in here, right? Something like that. Yeah, the oblique coming up this way, and the rib cage, and that pit of the arm is about there. We can actually kind of see the acromion process sitting right about here, and then the ridge of the scapula coming across this way. It's kind of sitting in this region, isn't it? This one, because her arm is going up, this one is a little less compressed. Almost kind of sitting on the form about there and going up this way just a little bit. Elbow sitting about here. Coming down, looking at this crease right here. No, okay, wrist is about here. Brachioradialis coming across this way, coming down. this hand down here. PBS show. Ah. I don't know if we have that here. I'll have to check it out, see if I can find it, see what it's all about. She's holding this stick. She's coming up this way, something like that. You can very, very faintly see the trapezius just hinting very lightly, the light of it, just as the form turns right here, you can see a highlight. So we know that's there, and I think we can just see a hint of it right about here too. That V shape. Once again, a nice subdivider, right? Yeah, we'll tweak, you know, things need pushing and pulling just a little bit, but plenty of time for that. You can see the ear sitting about there. Tied up here and sitting across there. And then we can see her arm kind of reveal itself, sitting here, wrist about there, and on her hand. We've got her thumb. Something like that. We'll tweak it in a minute. All right, where are we at? 10 minutes. So I'm feeling just, and there is the perspective and that she's feeling a little long in the torso, but I'm going to push and pull things just ever so slightly now to hopefully just give it that, you know, just kind of course correct just a little bit. Yeah, let's see here. So I'm going to start over here. Yeah, just a little bit long in the torso. I could also adjust that by putting a little bit more mass down here too, which I probably will do. It'll be a little bit of each. Okay, so let's come into the transition here. Coming into the rib cage. Something like that. And let's do the same on this side. Coming up to the deltoid. Sitting in there. And on the reference, this whole section down here, the oblique, and that's just really, really faint. But we'll get it in there. Something like that. Oh, the little piece of her heel. Margot, good catch. For some reason, I was blinded to its presence. Yes, let's pop it in. Thank you. Something like that. Yeah, I think I can afford to just give a tiny bit of volume down here. I'm going to keep real conservative with it, but just to try and balance the volumes a little bit more than they are. Oh, we can't do this song. It's too Tim Burton-esque for my taste. Or Danny Elfman, should we say. It's not that I don't like the theremin, but, you know, a little theremin goes a long way, doesn't it? Yeah, you see, it's really minimal, but I think even just that much more volume in the gluteus kind of will help with that balancing just a little bit. Okay, let's come up and find this deltoid. And then we've got the little bump of the, really what is essentially the clavicle there. It will be sitting somewhere in there. We'll come back to that. you can really kind of get a sense of how the trapezius is connecting to, not the trapezius, the triceps. Sorry, I always mix those two words up. Something like that. So that, and then brachioradialis is kind of, yeah, revealing itself about here. Coming down to the joint of the elbow there. Something like that. Okay, so yeah, like obviously this leg is going more away from us because the knee is really probably sitting around here. This leg is traveling up more. So we do want to establish a difference between the two. Just kind of going up this way. Okay. There's a lovely kind of wispiness to the hair, isn't there, in that general area? Something like that. Do not decide what we want to do with this hand. Because I think the fingers as they are going to be a little bit hard to explain in a way. Just trying a couple of different ideas here. Well, let's see. Yeah, that should do it. Okay, wow, we're at 22 minutes. Yikes. I had no idea we'd gone so long. See, I'm just in my own world over here. Yeah, the hair's gorgeous, isn't it? Like, it's really just, there's so much rhythm to work with. It's great. Probably have done a better job with it. Anyway. Let's put it just a little bit of tone. Just a real quick, like just 2 or 3 minutes. I think it'd be really nice, and I'm probably going to use a mix of what's there and just kind of, we'll say, making it up. I just think, you know, things are so quiet in the form, it will just add a little bit of dynamics. We'll be conservative here. We won't go crazy, but you know, as I've said before, even just a bit of core shadow sometimes can be all you need. And that helps. We do have the indentation there of where the vertebrae are. You know, I'm tempted to just leave it there. I think it's working as a diagrammatical drawing, and let's just I'll put in a little bit of tone. I'm satisfied enough with that. That'll do. That was so much harder than it looked like it would be. Yeah, because of the slight angle. I think that's, Margot, that's what did it. D2, hey. Different size image for reference than previously. It doesn't fit full size in my split screen on my tablet. No. That's all you, T2. Same as always. Yeah, flow state, right. We'll call it that. Or mind drifting. Is there a difference? Not drifting, actually, just in my own world. Maybe it was flow state. Constantaneous, how you doing? Hope you're well. Hope you're all well. No, I've done absolutely nothing different, T2, with the reference than I normally do. Sorry, don't know what to tell you. Next pose. This was supposedly going to be the tough one. Not supposedly. This one is going to be tough. This is the hardest pose of the series. I think we're looking at least 20 minutes for this one. possibly longer. Let's see where we're at, a little closer to the time. I need a sip of tea. This one's going to be a beast. Panic, says Noah. Don't panic, it's okay. we'll just work through it. Okay, let me reset the clock. Yeah, considering I spent 27 minutes on that last one, it could be kind of foolish of me to think I can do this one any quicker. All right, let's do it. So we're dealing obviously with a form that if we look at it from the top, we almost kind of get this type of idea, right? If we were thinking in terms of boxes and cylinders, it's almost like we can see down on this box. Then it kind of comes down this way. Something like this. Center line is coming down this way. And kind of doing that. You can see that, all right? Yeah, okay, good. It seems like there's quite a lot of page glare. Manubrium's going to be about here. It's going to be a lot of me saying about on this type of pose until I'm confident of where I've got everything. Chromium process is going to be about there. Scapula is sitting about here. Sternocleidomastoid is going to be coming this way. Pectoral sitting about there. Breast is there. And you can see the head of the humerus sitting right about there. This arm coming this way, away from us. And then the arm coming this way. Wrist is sitting about here. So I already can tell I need to push and pull some of these proportions because, you know, we're dealing with foreshortening primarily, but then also just an angle that we're not necessarily, you know, not an angle that we draw that often. And we're going to have our widths about us. It's about there. For Debouis, I might be pronouncing that correctly, probably not. Apologies. Hello from France. Bonjour. Bonsoir. Is it? It's afternoon, so it's bonsoir. Is that right? I think so. With regards to working overhand, does pushing the pencil require more force in steering than pulling? Curious to know what makes you decide between the two. Very nice work. Thank you. No, I don't believe it does. In fact, I would say probably pushing, at least for me, No, I was going to say it's easier. I don't think. René. Welcome, René. No, I don't think it makes. I don't think it makes any difference, really. But yeah, overhand is just, I think, the way to go. We're lost. This is impossible to draw. Is that the royal weir, Camille? Is everyone lost? No, look, there's a high probability that you are a little bit lost, Camille. This is a rather advanced pose, if truth be told. And there is only, it's a tough one to kind of even explain as I'm drawing, because I'm really trying to kind of get my own drawing in the right ballpark. But we'll have a quick talk afterwards, Camille, about how you can. I think the trick is we want to be thinking volumetrically, right? And we want to be thinking about a series of forms. Think about the tube of tennis balls concept, right? This cylinder is sitting in front of the box. This box is sitting in front of the box that would be here, and the box that would be here, or cylinder or sphere, whichever shape that you happen to be working with. And so I'm trying to think in a series of volumes. Like this is generally, because of the foreshortening, this is generally the location of the rib cage, right? Sitting in here. Below that is going to be the abdominal, the pelvis sitting in this region in here. But yes, this is very complex. And it requires us to kind of use several techniques kind of simultaneously, or hopefully to some degree in some state of harmony. I can already see I'm going to have to make adjustments, right? Like I said that at the beginning, like there's a lot of kind of finding your way. Like I know actually that I need to pull up to about here for this line from the stomach. But yeah, it's a challenging one. This is probably, we did one from a similar angle but a back view in the last session, Camille. I don't know if you remember that, or if you were there for that one. You might want to get a handle on that one kind of first, if that makes sense. If depending on how you did with that one, because that might help give you some clues on how you're going to handle this one. And look, there's no guarantee I'm going to do anything that's worth keeping with this one. And let's just get that out of the way right now. These are a challenge for everyone. So I'm just kind of pushing and pulling and kind of working super light, right? So that I can make adjustments. I haven't committed to anything just yet. You can see already like there's a bunch of different ideas on where this might be. But I'm kind of, I'm trying to just find my way with it as I go, if that makes sense. And then, you know, there's also then the challenge on top of all of that of can we make it graceful? You know, and not for it to feel in its end result just like a technical exercise. Super challenging, you know, like I sometimes think I go into the spirit I try and go into with drawings like this is, look, if I'm lucky, there might be a half serviceable drawing at the end of it. But, you know, I kind of consider poses like this to be, as I've said before, kind of like, they're kind of like going to the gym, right? Like, we're in the gym, we're sweaty, certainly not looking our best, right? Well, most of us anyway. But we're working out and we're doing something that's going to improve us so that we feel better once we leave the gym. But while we're at the gym, like, you know, yeah, you know, it's not necessarily looking great. I don't normally beat myself up too much if drawings like this don't quite hit the mark, because they're gym drawings. You know, normally I would do drawings like this and you know, away from, I wouldn't be drawing them, you know, publicly, and they probably would never see the light of day, to be honest. But here we are. See what I do for you guys? Now we do have the trapezius sitting in here. If we were going to draw it, you would be seeing the trapezius, but we do have the hair, so we can at least cut ourselves a little bit of slack there. We do want things to be in the right place though, just because we're not necessarily drawing them. We want the drawing to kind of hold up to the scrutiny of what's going on. That makes sense. Pectoral muscle coming down this way. You can almost see the pectoral kind of sitting in here, right? Coming up this way. The first box should be the biggest if it's in perspective. In this case, yes, Camille, but not always, because just because you've got a series of boxes in perspective doesn't always mean that the one that's in front is the biggest, okay? Like, yes, but in this case, that would be right. But in saying that, because of the angle, because, you know, we're kind of going from this direction to this direction, you could argue that we can actually see more mass of the pelvis, the box that comprises up the pelvis. So I actually would have to say maybe that's not the case. You know, I'm not going to start getting out a ruler for measuring, but I also don't want to give you wrong information. Yeah, I'm not sure. I would actually say that the upper and the lower torso here are roughly competing for about the same amount of screen real estate. If you take the bottom box coming to about here, right? Like if we see where her hand is, and you can just see going down to the pubic bone there. So if we take this box sitting here, and then you look at the box that would comprise of the upper torso sitting in here. Yeah, because of the perspective and the angle, maybe they're roughly about equal. I wish I could just give you a by the numbers formula on this. As I said, the reality is we're using several different tools to kind of make our analysis of what it is that we're seeing here. Like I can already see, like, you know, for example, if I look at this pit of where the pectoral muscle is here, and I come up, this is where the ear is. I was completely off. Ear is sitting there. Excuse me. So I'm going to have to adjust. But once again, pushing and pulling, right? Like just, yeah. Okay, let's find a hand. Okay. Tybee Island. Never heard of it. I'll check it out. First drawing straight in the bin. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Find the forearm muscles to be complicated depending on the direction you're looking at it. Yeah, and depending on what the arm and the forearm are doing. Eric, I agree. It can be quite complex. I think here it's relatively straightforward. All right, I'm going to go in to tie down here because, oh, I forgot the calf, lower leg. It's kind of going down in that direction. And then this other foot, it's kind of peeking out here, which is kind of crazy. But I think if I start to tie things down a little, it's going to help, hopefully help tighten things together a little bit. I'm going to start with this pectoral muscle because it seems like it's very central to some degree or another, and it's going to help with measurement. But Camille, try not to get frustrated with a drawing like this. I know it can be. But you know, as I said, this is a very difficult kind of, I would say, high level pose. And I don't want you, you know, beating yourself up over this. It's just a drawing. So it's funny because, like, you know, when you look here, this is where we see the rib cage reveal itself here. Under there, and then here. Right? Crazy. Close to Savannah, Georgia, which is a gorgeous city. Azaleas are in full bloom, glorious. Oh, I bet. I've always wanted to go to Savannah. feel like Savannah is probably a pretty fascinating place to check out. It always does strike me as a very beautiful part of the country. Do that for now. Okay. Yeah, absolutely, Camille. If you need to, you know, this could be one of those, it's like, you know, once we're offline, like, spend an hour on it, or longer if you need to. Why not? I'm probably going to end up spending quite a bit of time on this myself. And then lower part of the leg going off this way. Where we're at 27. All right, a few more minutes, huh? Then we'll call it. High point is here. And we've got a big tuft of hair, which is obviously coming off the front here, which is kind of just flowing. I don't know about that. Might be tempted to pull that out a little. Cast shadow coming across the form there. All right, there's 30. It's probably a good place to call it, huh? Yeah. Could always be worse, James. Could always be worse. You ever use some sort of figurines to figure out a dynamic pose? No, Eric, I don't. And that could bring me on to my usual rant about those wooden figure things, those awful, wretched dolls with the posable dolls. Please don't use those things. They're awful. They're really detrimental, I think, to understanding what's going on in the relationships between forms. All right. Yeah, that was a challenge, huh? I think we earned our keep with that one. Cool. All right. They are great to hold jewelry. Yeah, ring holders. There you go, Margot. But even with that, you're financing the wooden maquette cartel, and that I have a problem with. You know what I mean. Okay, guys, it's 6:25 already, and we're only 3 poses in. But that was a beast. So I think we'll lighten things up a little. Let's do a 15, a 10, and a 5, something like that. Yeah. Okay. Fun exercise. Yeah, that was a good one, wasn't it? Cool. Yeah, this should be a bit of fun. Yeah, we'll plan on a 15. Let's do that. Did you try that Yorkshire tea yet, Margot? Oh, let me reset the clock. There we go. Yeah, we do have foreshortening on this upper torso. It is kind of going away from us, right? We can get the sense of that from how the neck connects here. Clavicles coming up this way and this way. And then this arm is going up, like so. Yeah, a bit of fun. And this arm coming down, something like that. Pectoral sitting in here. Can't really see this breast, but I'm going to just pop it in there just so I understand where it is. And the knee is sitting up here. And tibia coming down this way. Ankle's about there. This foot coming down like so. And we can see glutes sitting in there. Actually, this leg I think is a bit closer to the center of the form. Yeah, it's about here. I'm actually going to pull it over. Something about there. Oblique. Knee is sitting here, right? There's our foreshortening. Oh, you haven't found it yet? Not to worry. One day. So, yeah, we've got this coming towards us. Actually, this leg's sitting a bit higher, I think. It's probably sitting about there. Yeah, we'll get this figured out. Yeah, you need to see the reference now. It would make a lot more sense. Hopefully it'll make sense once we're done. Or not. You might look at the end result and go, not buying it. Which is fine as well. It'll all come together. Alright, I said 15, didn't I? So, better get cracking here. Okay. Graduation music. Yeah, pretty much. Or like, you know, graduation music in like a Tom Hanks movie. Nice compression at the navel here where the rib cage is kind of pushing down. It's kind of cool. All right, let's do this other leg, which right now is a hot mess. And this is like end credit music, isn't it? For the same movie. And this is where Netflix is asking you what you want to watch next. A lot of Forrest Gump was filmed in Savannah. Yeah, absolutely. And there's our 15. And I think in the interest of this not being a 3-hour stream, I'm going to call it there with this one. It's a bit of fun. Not great. It's fine. Turning 20. What? Forrest Gump? I would imagine, yeah? Yeah, would make sense. Great film. Oh, wow. Okay, so this is going to be a 10. Now, normally, we would, this would be a quite a bit longer pose, but I think it will actually serve well as a 10. I think it will be just fine. We will go to landscape mode. Let's get that roughly straight. Close enough, huh? Okay, 10 minute. Oh, you're turning 20, Noah. Or the film is turning 20. Well, if you're turning 20, congratulations. All right, reset. Let's go. 10 minutes. And remember, we're doing the last pose with the opposite hand. Even in my sleep-deprived state, I will not cut myself the slack of wimping out. Hope you guys are all doing the opposite hand drawing along with me. I should not be the only one making an utter fool of myself for the last drawing. Okay. Now there is just, yeah, a massive hair here, but do kind of, we want to think about the fact gravity is affecting it, right? So it's coming kind of straight down this way, and it is kind of sitting in that area there. Okay. Everyone's gone very quiet. Did everyone just drop off when I said we're going to draw with our other hands? Ah! Yeah, 8.5. Okay. My left hand keeps cramping. Shouldn't cramp if you're using the overhand stance, Margot. This would suggest to me you're holding it like handwriting style. You know the rules. No, fair enough. Look, if you can't do it, you can't do it. I get it. It's fine. I'm just over here giving you a hard time. It's my job. Thank you, Phil. Glad you're enjoying it. Yeah, they are, right? Quite demanding, for sure. They're fun. Now, on Thursday, as someone pointed out recently, we haven't drawn a heavier set model in a while. We're going to do just that. Although it will be a female, it will be one that we haven't drawn in probably over a year. And I would encourage you to come along, because there is a lot to be discovered and learnt through drawing, models that aren't all just like a athletic subject like today. It should be a bit of fun. And there's our 10. Okay, went a bit over. That's okay. Overhand. All right, Margot. Nice. And you're getting cramping with the overhand. All right. Well, that's, yeah. Maybe try and hold the pencil lighter. Although, I get it. It's all good. Cool. All right, last pose. Here we go. I got a feeling I'm going to just, you know, once again, regret agreeing to do this, or not agreeing. I self-imposed, 100%. All right, old age. Yeah, another feeling, Margot. Well, look, I draw like a 3-year-old with my right hand. But so yes, let's switch to our less dominant hand, just in the interest of hopefully helping unlock something. I don't know what. Something. Let's do like 5-6 minutes. It may be a 3-minute if it goes that badly. All right. Now, last week, yeah, we really were just dealing with a hot mess at the end of it all. Because, yeah, my hand feels drunk. And I kind of tell myself, yeah, but you know a lot of stuff, so you should be able to kind of, shouldn't be a problem. Oh, contraire, says my hand. Hold my beer. Let me show you how we can rack it. That's going a little bit more out like that. Rib cage is sitting in here. Asis. Iliac crest. Inguinal ligament. Navel is going to be sitting there. Okay. Rib cage, oblique. Gluteus. You see, this would be such a run-of-the-mill pose. Were we not deliberately, quite literally, handicapping ourselves here? Pectoral. Rib cage. Oblique. Oh yeah, I can do bad drawing to dramatic music. Watch. Feels so foreign. coming up, scapula, up to the deltoid, sitting in there. Yeah, I used to draw like this left-hand style when I was 3. I feel like a 3-year-old right now. Yeah, you go. Brutal. Ah, a bit of fun. Like, that's what I'm going to keep telling myself. Bit of fun. I've got to be honest, I know it would be cheating, but I had planned on trying to do a couple of these over the weekend in preparation for today. This is just to kind of, you know, try and get my hand a little more used to it. And of course, I didn't. So here we are. I do think it'd be a nice thing to be, just to be able to kind of, you know, as a side project, try and develop. But yeah, it's so strange because my brain is like, yeah, you just, it goes there. And then my hand goes, nah. Oh, that's 6 minutes already. Yikes. All right. Well, there you go. Also draw much slower. Well, I guess that was to be expected. Oh, hey Lulu. Didn't know you were here. I highly recommend drawing a bunch of straight parallel lines to tune the hand, and one of those before every left-hand drawing or session makes a difference on my end. Not cheating, practice. No, that's probably very good advice, Lulu. Yeah, I'm sure there's a bunch of things you could do, like, you know, to kind of, you know, develop this for sure. Even this, as I think you mentioned last time, a practice drawing would not hurt at all. But look, it's a bit of fun, right? But yes, I think probably parallel lines, just drawing shapes, honestly. I think just probably just drawing, you know, can I draw a regular box? You know, can I train my hand to kind of start doing this type of thing? Probably be a really good idea too. A bunch of exercises like that would probably be really helpful. What can I say? It was a bit of fun. Last pose, what are you gonna do? Oh yeah, Lulu, I got a new puppy yesterday. So right at the beginning, you can see a little photo. You went for a 20-minute nap a good 3 hours ago. I actually did have a 20-minute nap before the stream, and I think it saved us from this thing being just abject nonsense. All right, guys, that was a bit of fun. Some tough poses today. Let's not kid ourselves. One in particular, I know that will certainly stick in the minds of some people. I would say go back and visit that pose. Spend time with it. Oh yeah, you know what? Let me just before you go, and I know that you guys, some of you have seen me discuss this before, most of you probably, but when you have a heavy perspective drawing like the pose that, or foreshortening drawing like the pose that we had earlier, it definitely helps. At least try and, in your mind's eye, when you're organizing your shapes, I really do try to think in terms of, there we go, the hand's back. I try to think in these types of terms. Okay, so this was kind of like the rib cage slash kind of the, you know, the breast area. The clavicle was sitting here, you know, oh sorry, the maneuvering, the clavicles coming up like this way and this way. Scapulars were coming from the back of the form. So I'm thinking about this in this terms. Then we're coming down, and then, you know, the pelvis was probably sitting, it was on a bit more of an angle, something like this, right? It doesn't have to be a perfect box. It's more about like what's the general idea? It was something like that, right? And the head coming up this way, etc. I don't even remember what was going on in the pose, honestly. It was doing something like this. But I'm trying to at least conceptualize. Thanks, Lulu. I'm trying to conceptualize in these terms, right? Then, you know, like, okay, the oblique's going to be coming down this way, coming down to the, you know, the aces down here, this type of thing. Oblique's going to be doing something like that. This is a bit, you know, this is a bit brutal, but hopefully you get the general idea of at least how I'm trying to think about things in simpler kind of volumetric shapes, right? Then I know, okay, this box, is this box larger than this box? Not really. As I was saying earlier, I think they take up roughly, give or take, you know, a similar real estate. If anything, maybe the pelvis is a little bit larger because of the angle it's at. So try and think in these terms. At least if nothing else in your mind's eye, if you need to draw it out, draw it out. Ask yourself, okay, manubrium's there. I know the clavicle comes back to the middle of the box, and in a semi-stationary type of way. Head of the humerus is going to be there. I don't remember what this arm was even doing, but let's say it was coming down something like that, right? I think this one was coming forward like this. If you can start thinking in those terms, you can at least start to organize your thought process, and you can start giving things hierarchy, right? And if you can start thinking in these terms, then it just helps with your thought, with your problem-solving process. You want to, obviously you want the drawing to evolve and get away from this and become something organic and fluid. But as I've said before, when I've got a standing pose, let's say a pose like this, right? Supporting leg coming down, something like this. Let's say we've got an arm coming up here. Could just, you know, whatever. Regular standing pose. We've got long lines of action, right? We have a much harder time finding long lines of action in a pose like this. So what I tend to do is when there's heavy foreshortening, I start to think more volumetrically, simpler shapes. And then once I'm all said and done, I'll look for like the long rhythmical lines in the anatomy, rather than at the gestural stage at the beginning, like I would normally, right? There's plenty of long rhythmical lines to be had in a pose like this. You know, we can find them all day long, but they tend to reveal themselves after we've got the business done of keeping things, you know, keeping our thoughts and organizing the hierarchy of our volumes and our masses. Okay, hope that makes sense. It really deserves a much deeper dive than that, but we have discussed it before, but just to give clarity to anyone who's completely confused about what they were meant to do with that pose. I have an appointment with an insanely cute puppy, so I'm I'm out of here and I'm off to snuggle. Maybe too much information. But I will see you guys on Thursday, for sure. You know the drill. Hit the like button on your way out if you wouldn't mind. If you liked it. If you didn't like it, don't hit the like button. Hit the dislike button. Please. It's all the same to me, right? Any attention is good apparently on YouTube. Even if people hit the dislike, it's all the same. All right. We'll do this all again on Thursday, guys. In the meantime, please take care of yourselves. All right? I'll see you then. Cheers. And I'll be posting more photos of the dog on Instagram, maybe even on Facebook. So if you're curious, you can go check out the little sweetheart on there. All right. I'm out. Take care. Cheers. Bye.